Oh my gosh, guys, the deck is finished-ish.
Hi everyone, I have no idea why Kristen got on my back, but we're here. Welcome to Cabin Creek Homestead. We've got another project to do. If you remember, about a year and a half ago, we built this dance floor.
I'm falling.
About a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, we built this dance floor. It's 16 foot wide by 24 foot long. I think we have some footage of the hoedown. We had a hoedown with the college folks from our church here. It was a wonderful time. We had a live band, bluegrass band. It was great. But the floor is made of OSB, just regular plywood, and over the year and a half, with the weather, it started to bow up in some spots. I'll show you in a second.
We knew it was gonna happen.
So we are now going to redo the floor and make it a deck floor. Put on some deck boards, kind of make it higher quality. We've got a lot of farm camp weeks coming up this summer, and so we want to make it safe for the kids, not to have any dangerous spots as they're running around on it, as they're eating their lunches and having fun on it. So I have bought some deck boards just from Lowe's, some 6-inch by 16-foot deck boards. And if I've done the math right, which
no promises,
is no guarantee, I've bought enough deck boards that we ought to just be able to run fat-wise like this from this side to that side. And I have a neat little spacer that I'll show you, and a tool that I have where it's going to hide the deck screws, which is what you do if you're going to have bare feet on the deck, on the surface. It protects the feet from splinters and from holes and things like that. So I'll show you that in a minute, but our first step right now is to rip up this old OSB, which is always fun. So I got my son Judson. Judson, hey.
Hi.
He loves to break things, so he's gonna help us rip this up, and that's gonna be a fun part. And then we're gonna, once we get that done, we'll come back to the camera and we'll explain what we're doing with the deck boards. All right, so if you come in a little bit closer, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. This has started to bow really bad, especially right here. I mean, that's a good inch up, and that's just not safe. You're walking on it, you could easily trip on it. And there's some other dangerous spots. Judge, show them right there, buddy. See?
This spot over here.
See that spot right there? That's happening all over the dance floor. And so that's why we're gonna rip it up and redo it. We knew this was temporary from the beginning, so now we've saved up some money to do this project.
What do you think of the progress so far, Scott?
Boy, Keith and I put this stuff in here a little too good. I didn't think it would be this hard to rip all this up, but good gracious.
Well, we had a nail gun.
We did. I had a new toy, and I think I was just trying to play with it.
The nails, although usually are very easy to remove, these are ribbed, and so they were really stuck in there.
Man.
Scott's gonna just start whacking.
Well, I haven't used this as a wedge. I had to use it as a wedge.
Something stuck over here. I bet there's a screw that we missed.
All right, so now let's talk about how to actually use this tool. So what you do is you squeeze it right here, and these little handles expand, see? You put it over your deck board, and you make sure you line it up in the middle of your joist. This is the joist, so make sure you line up in the middle of the joist, and when you let go, it fastens it on there. Then you take you a screw. These are special ones that you have to buy separately, but they're made to be used with this. They have a small head on them. You slide them down in the hole right there. Then hold this in place just in case, and then you screw just like that, and you know you've gone all the way in when the drill bit stops. This drill bit also comes in the box. And then you take one and you go on the back side, same way. Then you squeeze it and take it off, and then what you have is you have these screws that go in the sides here, and as subsequent deck boards come on, it's hidden. We'll still probably sand it down just a little, but highly recommend it. Works great. So it's been a while since we've been able to work on the deck. We've had a lot going on, but we're back out here tonight. And as you can see, I've been doing some of the rails. These black balusters we've been putting on. So we just wanted to show you quickly how we do this. So we got these little connectors, these baluster connectors from Lowe's, and they screw in. But so the code says that the space between the balusters is 4 inches. And so you measure 4.5 inches because this takes up space on left and right. So basically, there was a guy on YouTube that had a pretty clever way of doing it, and I tried to do it, and I kept fouling it up, and it was really frustrating me. So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. I'm laying out a tape measure, and I'm measuring 4.5, and then 1/2 and 4, and 4.5 and 1/2 and 4, and I'm just making little marks on it, and then I'm going back in and screwing these in. And then I'll show you the rest of the process later, but that's what I'm doing right now. So it's the old-fashioned way. It takes a little longer, but to be honest, I couldn't figure out the way he was doing it. He was a lot smarter than me, apparently.
I like the pencil you're using.
This is the carpenter's pencil. So 4.5, 1/2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 1/2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So one little trick with these things, it took me forever to figure this out. Like I said, I'm not that smart apparently, but these are little things that will be for if you have a rail that goes up some stairs. They can be diagonal, but they can also be flat. So when they came out of the bag, I'm like, oh no, some were flat and some were diagonal, and I couldn't figure out what it is. And so finally though, I realized on the bottom here, there's this little way you twist it. You just twist the bottom and then they go flat. So see? You twist it, you can twist it back towards you, make some diagonal. And then, you can go at different angles. If it's not that steep, but then you twist it all the way forward towards you, away from you, and they go flat. Good?
Yeah, look pleasant.
I am pleasant. Okay, so we got the 2x4 with the little connectors on, hooked up to the rails or to the post. And so now these little rails from Lowe's, it's really simple. They just go on like that. So just wipe the dust off a little bit, and then they just fit on. There's really nothing to it. They just fit like that, and you go all the way down. And then once you put all these on, you put the top piece on, and we'll show you what that looks like in a minute. You put the top piece on, and then you screw these into the post, and then you got your rail.
And it looks like the one behind you, right?
Yeah, and it looks like this one. This one's done. See?
Ooh, good looking rail.
So one thing I forgot to mention is when you are looking at which end of the 2x4 to use, you need to pay attention to the crown, because so this is going like this, which is good. You want these to be on the crown like that, because if it's this way, then the gap will be too much and these could fall out. So you want to make sure that it bows up in the middle so it's tight. Okay. All right, so when you're putting these on, really the only way to do it is you got to get one end down like this and the other end up, and then you just work them in one at a time until you go all the way across. It's kind of tedious, and it sometimes it can get really frustrating. However,
it's a two-person job.
Yeah, you can do it if you have a smaller board with one person, but you still got to hold it with one hand and then work with this hand. That's kind of tough, but a two-person job makes it so much easier. So go ahead and bring it down some.
It's kind of tight over here. Is that
which
normal?
is good. No, that's actually perfect. It makes it easier. So see, you just kind of work your way down, and it's actually, if it's actually tight, it's a little bit easier. You don't have to worry so much about the other person holding it up. But see, you just kind of, And then sometimes you have to raise it up, but then you just put it right back in. Like that. And it works. Bro. Oh my God.
No.
It's okay. That happens.
Shall I live?
All right, when that happens, you just got to pick it back up on the right side and you got to start over. It happens. No big deal.
Just keep decking. Just keep decking. What do we do?
The problem is I went down too fast. That was my problem. You can't go down that. You can't go down that much. All right. We got it. We got it. We're doing good, baby. Now, I did not do this on the first couple rails, and it got me in trouble. So you always check the level.
Hot dog. That is smack dab in the middle.
Perfect. All right, now you. Yeah.
It's twisted real bad.
I know. Why did you stop? There you go. Construction is done. We have a lot of the cosmetic things that we're gonna add. Like we're gonna put these solar-powered like end caps on these, but we have to cut these down to the right size first. It's too tall. So we have a few of those things left to do, but the construction of the deck is done.
I'm going to give you a little tour. I love the balusters. I love the height of it. What we have to decide now is basically how tall do we want these to remain. I don't want them terribly tall, but I do want them a little tall because we still have Edison lights that are going to swoop around the edge. It's going to light it up at night. Obviously, dinner in the summertime out here is going to be absolutely delightful. Actually, all year round if we can brave the cold or the pollen. So then we also have to decide on a stain color. Now the barn right here, we want it to match. We tried a cedar-ish vibe, didn't match. It was very red, which obviously cedars can be red. It was redder than what I was thinking it was going to be. So
yeah, we didn't like it.
We didn't like it. We've got who wants a whole bunch of cedar stain. It was really expensive. Come get it. But we've got to get it.
Just kidding. We only bought one bucket.
It's not much. But yeah, we've got to do that. We're going to sand it. So let me give you a close up. We should eat dinner up here tonight. Let's do it. We're going to have steak. This is a volunteer sunflower. And it's actually a branching sunflower. So every little spot is gonna have little sunflowers on it, and it's massive. What's that? You wanted to see the garden? I bet you do. Look at those massive butterfly bushes. Thanks for joining in with all of our wild and funny adventures. We are having so much fun watching this farm come together. We'll see you in the next video.